You knows you have been giving away your power. You have been handing over your peace of mind to people who have done nothing to earn it. And every time you let someone else determine your mood, your worth, or your next move, you shrink a little more. This is not the life you were meant to live. The world is full of noise. It is full of opinions, judgments, and people who will try to pull you down simply because you remind them of the height they failed to reach. But here is the truth that will set you free. You do not have to react. You do not have to defend. You do not have to explain yourself to anyone. The moment you understand this, you step into a power that most will never know. Becoming unbothered is not about becoming cold. It is not about closing your heart or pretending you feel nothing. It is about choosing where your energy goes. It is about building an inner fortress so strong that no insult, no betrayal, no disappointment can shake it. This is not luck. This is not talent. This is a skill you can learn. And you will learn it if you follow what I am about to share with you. There are people walking this earth right now who cannot be moved. They do not flinch when others raise their voices. They do not crumble when critics sharpen their tongues. They do not spiral into chaos when life throws its inevitable storms. These people are not born different. They have simply learned what you are about to learn. They have built what you are about to build. And the distance between where you are now and where they stand is shorter than you think. What you are about to discover will change the way you see yourself and the world around you. It will strip away the illusions you have been carrying. It will shatter the false beliefs that have kept you small. And it will give you the tools to build an unshakable foundation that no storm can topple. But this transformation requires something from you. It requires your full attention. It requires your willingness to be honest with yourself. It requires your commitment to act on what you learn. If you are ready for that, then continue. If not, then close this now and come back when you are. Because what follows is not for the half-hearted. It is for those who are ready to reclaim their power and never give it away again. Look at the people around you who seem to move through life untouched by the chaos that consumes everyone else. They are not made of different material. They do not possess some magical immunity. They have simply learned what you are about to learn. They have practiced what you are about to practice. They have made decisions that you are about to make. The gap between you and them is not talent. It is not luck. It is knowledge applied with consistency, and that knowledge begins now. You have spent too long at the mercy of forces outside yourself. You have let too many people determine how you feel when you wake up and how you feel when you sleep. You have handed the keys to your peace to anyone who asked for them, and many who did not even ask. This ends today. This ends with the 7 rules you are about to learn. This ends with your decision to become the kind of person who cannot be easily disturbed. The unbothered life is calling, and if you are ready, it is time to answer. Rule 1. Stop explaining yourself. The first rule is simple but ruthless. You must stop explaining yourself. Most people walk through life defending their choices, their dreams, and their direction to anyone who raises an eyebrow. They justify their path to strangers. They argue with critics. They waste hours convincing doubters who will never believe them anyway. This is a losing game. Every time you explain yourself, you invite debate. You open the door to opinions you never needed in the first place. The unbothered person moves in silence. They do not announce their plans. They do not seek approval before taking action. They let their results speak louder than any explanation ever could. Understand this clearly. You owe nobody an explanation. Not your family, not your friends, not the world. Your life is your own creation, and the choices you make are between you and your vision. The person who truly knows what they want does not stop to justify it at every turn. They simply act. When you stop explaining, you stop inviting resistance. You stop wasting your breath on ears that were never listening in the first place. You conserve energy for what truly matters. You reclaim the hours you once spent defending your worth and redirect them toward building something undeniable. This shift alone will transform the trajectory of your life. You will move faster. You will think clearer. You will become dangerous in the most beautiful sense of the word. There will be people who question you. There will be voices that demand answers. Let them wonder. Let them assume. Let them gossip. Their confusion is not your burden. Your job is to move forward, not to make sure everyone understands why. The moment you accept this, you will feel a weight lift from your shoulders. You will realize how much energy you have been pouring into a hole that could never be filled. Start today. The next time someone questions your direction, offer no defense. Smile if you must, nod if you must, but say nothing that opens the door to argument. Watch how quickly the noise fades. Watch how calm your mind becomes when you are no longer engaged in battles that were never worth fighting. This is not silence out of weakness. This is silence out of power. This is the silence of someone who knows exactly where they are going and does not need anyone else to validate the journey. This is the first rule because it is the foundation. Without it, the rest cannot stand. Master this, and you will have already separated yourself from the majority who spend their lives seeking validation from those who have none to give. Let this sink into your bones. You do not owe the world an explanation. You owe yourself action. Think about how many hours of your life you have wasted in explanations. Think about how many times you have rehearsed conversations in your mind, preparing defenses for accusations that may never come. Think about how much mental space you have given to people who have never lifted a finger to help you succeed. This is the cost of seeking understanding from the world. It is a cost you cannot afford to keep paying. The tax is too high, the return is too low, and every moment you spend in this cycle is a moment stolen from your own greatness. The unbothered person learns early that understanding is a luxury, not a necessity. They do not require the world to agree with them before they move. They do not pause to make sure everyone is on board before they build. They operate from a place of internal certainty so deep that external noise becomes irrelevant. This is not arrogance. Arrogance is loud. Arrogance seeks attention. The unbothered person is quiet in their power. They do not need to prove anything because they are too busy becoming proof. Watch the people around you. Notice how many spend their days justifying, defending, and explaining. Notice how tired they are. Notice how stuck they remain despite all their words. This is the trap you are escaping. You are choosing a different path, a path where your actions speak and your mouth stays shut, a path where your growth silences every critic, a path where your results make explanations irrelevant. This is the way of the unbothered. It starts with one decision. From this moment forward, you will stop explaining yourself. You will stop justifying your dreams. You will stop defending your right to pursue your own vision. You will simply act. You will simply build. You will simply become. And the world will have no choice but to witness what happens when one person decides to stop talking and start doing. Let this rule become the bedrock of your new life. Every time you feel the urge to explain, catch yourself. Every time you feel the pull to justify, resist. Every time someone demands an answer you do not owe, offer silence instead. This is how you train yourself to become unbothered. This is how you reclaim your power. This is how you step into the life that was always waiting for you on the other side of other people's opinions. Remember this always. Your energy is sacred. Your time is limited. Your focus is your greatest weapon. Do not waste any of it on explanations that change nothing. Do not pour any of it into convincing people who have already made up their minds. Do not scatter it across battles that lead nowhere. Gather your strength. Direct it toward your vision. Let your success be the only statement you make, and let the world wonder how you did it while you continue to rise in silence. Rule 2. Stop taking things personally. The second rule is harder to swallow because it demands that you face the truth about yourself. You must stop taking things personally. Most people walk through life with their egos exposed, ready to be wounded by the slightest word or gesture. Someone ignores them, and they spend days wondering what they did wrong. Someone criticizes their work, and they sink into self-doubt for weeks. Someone speaks harshly, and they carry the sting as if it were a verdict on their entire existence. This is no way to live. This is a prison disguised as sensitivity. This is suffering dressed as awareness. When you take everything personally, you give every person you encounter power over your state of mind. A stranger can ruin your day. A co-worker can destroy your confidence. A family member can collapse your peace with a single remark. You become a puppet, and everyone holds a string. This is weakness dressed as sensitivity. This is vulnerability without wisdom. This is the prison most people never escape because they do not even realize they are locked inside. The unbothered person has learned a secret that the masses will never grasp. Other people's actions and words are almost never about you. They are about the speaker. They are about the speaker's pain, the speaker's fears, the speaker's insecurity, the speaker's struggle to make sense of their own life. When someone lashes out, they are revealing their own wounds. When someone judges you, they are revealing their own limitations. When someone dismisses you, they are revealing their own blindness. You are simply the mirror they happen to look into at that moment. This is not an excuse for cruelty. It is simply the truth of human nature. Most people are too absorbed in their own battles to truly see you. They project, they deflect. They react to their own demons while looking at your face. Understanding this is freedom. When you realize that rejection is often a reflection of the rejecter, you become untouchable. When you understand that criticism is often the critic's confession, you become unshakable. You stop measuring your worth by the reactions of people who barely understand themselves. This does not mean you ignore feedback. Wisdom knows the difference between constructive insight and noise, but wisdom also knows that most noise is just that. Empty sound from empty places. Stop absorbing every word as if it were truth. Stop letting the moods of others become your mood. Stop giving people the power to write the story of your inner life. You alone hold the pen. You alone decide what gets written on the pages of your soul. From this day forward, practice detachment. When something stings, pause. Ask yourself, is this really about me? More often than not, the answer is no. And when the answer is no, there is nothing to carry. Let it fall. Let it pass. Let it dissolve like smoke in the wind. The more you practice this, the more immune you become to the petty storms that break lesser men. You will develop a skin that cannot be pierced by careless words. You will build a core that cannot be shaken by thoughtless actions. You will walk through conflict without absorbing it. You will hear insults without internalizing them. You will face betrayal without letting it poison your soul. This is the power of the unbothered. This is the freedom of those who refuse to be defined by the careless words of others. Let this rule become your armor. Stop taking things personally, and you will discover that most of what once wounded you had nothing to do with you at all. Consider this truth carefully. Every person you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Every harsh word that comes your way is usually the overflow of someone else's struggle. Every cold shoulder is usually the symptom of someone else's pain. When you understand this, you stop being offended by the world. You start seeing people for what they are. Imperfect beings trying to make sense of their own chaos. Wounded souls doing the best they can with broken tools. This understanding does not make you weak. It makes you wise. It makes you compassionate without becoming a victim. It makes you aware without becoming wounded. The unbothered person can look at hostility and see hurt. They can look at criticism and see fear. They can look at rejection and see limitation. This sight is a gift. It is the gift of perspective, and perspective is what separates the peaceful from the perpetually disturbed. Train yourself to pause before you react. Train yourself to question your first interpretation. Train yourself to assume that the problem lies outside of you before you accept it as your own. This is not denial. This is discernment. You are not pretending that bad things do not happen. You are simply refusing to carry weight that was never yours to bear. You are simply choosing to walk light while others stumble under burdens they never needed to pick up. The world will continue to throw arrows. People will continue to speak without thinking. Life will continue to test your ability to remain calm in the face of chaos. But with this rule embedded in your soul, you will stand unmoved. You will let the arrows fall short. You will let the words fade. You will let the tests pass without leaving scars. This is the path to peace. This is the way of the unbothered. And it begins the moment you decide that other people's opinions are their business, not yours. Your only business is your growth. Your only concern is your vision. Your only focus is becoming the person you were born to be. Let everything else go. Think about the last time someone hurt you with their words. Replay that moment in your mind. Now ask yourself this: was it truly about you, or was it about them? Was it a reflection of your worth, or was it a reflection of their struggle? The answer will set you free if you let it. Most hurt is inherited. Most pain is passed along. Most cruelty is a cry for help disguised as an attack. When you see the world this way, you stop being a victim. You become an observer. You become someone who witnesses the chaos of others without being swept away by it. This is mastery. This is the unbothered way. Practice it daily. Let nothing personal touch you, and watch as your peace becomes unbreakable. There is a profound liberation in understanding that you are not the center of everyone's universe. Just as you spend most of your mental energy thinking about yourself, others do the same. Their comments, their moods, their reactions are rarely calculated assaults on your character. They are overflow. They are the excess of their own internal storms spilling outward. When you truly grasp this, you stop personalizing everything. You start seeing clearly. You start responding rather than reacting. And in that shift lies your freedom. The practice of not taking things personally is a daily discipline. It does not happen overnight. You will slip. You will absorb things you should have let pass. You will react when you should have observed. But each time you catch yourself, each time you pause and ask the right questions, you grow stronger. Each time you let an arrow fall short instead of pulling it into your chest, you prove to yourself that you are becoming unbothered. This is the journey. This is the practice. This is the path to lasting peace. Rule 3. Guard your energy ruthlessly. The third rule demands discipline that few possess. You must guard your energy as if your life depends on it, because it does. Every interaction, every environment, every thought you entertain either adds to your power or drains it. Most people move through their days utterly unaware of where their energy is going. They give hours to arguments that accomplish nothing. They replay painful conversations in their heads until the memory becomes a wound that never heals. They spend time with people who leave them feeling empty, yet they return again and again as if punishment were a duty. The unbothered person is ruthless about their energy. They know that peace of mind is the foundation of all achievement. Without it, nothing else matters. They refuse to engage in battles that waste their fire. They refuse to sit in the company of those who poison the atmosphere. They refuse to let their thoughts run wild into dark places that serve no purpose. This is not coldness. This is wisdom. This is the understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot build an empire if you have given away all your bricks. Understand this truth. Your energy is finite. Each day you wake with a certain amount of it. How you spend it determines the quality of your life. If you pour it into worry, you have nothing left for creation. If you pour it into drama, you have nothing left for progress. If you pour it into resentment, you have nothing left for joy. The equation is simple, yet most people fail to honor it. They scatter themselves across 1,000 drains and wonder why they have nothing left for what matters most. The unbothered person makes hard choices. They cut ties with people who consistently drain them, no matter how long the relationship has lasted. They walk away from conversations that spiral into negativity. They refuse to replay past wounds in their minds. They set boundaries not out of cruelty, but out of self-respect. This will not be easy. There will be people who call you selfish. There will be people who accuse you of coldness. Let them. They do not understand that a guarded heart is a healthy heart. They do not understand that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and others is to walk away. Start paying attention to how you feel after every encounter. Who leaves you feeling drained? Who leaves you feeling uplifted? Who brings chaos and who brings calm? Your body knows before your mind admits it. Trust what you feel. The signals are there if you are willing to listen. The warnings are clear if you are willing to see. Stop ignoring what your intuition has been screaming at you for years. Create space in your life for stillness. Schedule time where no one can reach you, where no demands are made, where you simply exist and recharge. Protect this time fiercely. It is not a luxury. It is a necessity for anyone who wishes to remain unbothered in a world that never stops demanding more. Guard your energy and you guard your sanity. Guard your sanity and you guard your future. Every decision you make about who and what receives your attention is a vote for the life you are building. Vote wisely. Now consider the environments you inhabit. The places where you spend your hours shape your state of mind more than you realize. A cluttered space creates a cluttered mind. A noisy environment creates inner noise. A place filled with tension fills you with tension. You must become deliberate about where you spend your time. If a place drains you, limit your exposure or leave entirely. If a place lifts you, return there often. This is not about running from problems. It is about choosing your battles. It is about recognizing that not every fight is worth your fire. It is about understanding that some environments will steal your peace no matter how hard you try to hold on to it. The unbothered person knows when to engage and when to walk away. They do not waste energy on situations that cannot be changed. They do not pour effort into people who refuse to grow. They do not sacrifice their calm for the chaos of others. This discernment is not cowardice. It is wisdom. It is the understanding that your energy is sacred and should be treated as such. Let this rule transform the way you live. Begin each day by asking yourself where your energy will go. End each day by reviewing where it went. Notice the leaks. Notice the drains. Notice the people and places that take more than they give. Then make the necessary adjustments. This is not a one-time decision. It is a daily practice. It is a constant vigilance. It is a commitment to protecting the one resource you cannot buy back. Your energy is your life force. It is the fuel for your dreams. It is the fire that powers your progress. Do not waste it on things that do not matter. Do not give it to people who do not deserve it. Do not let it slip away through careless attention and mindless reaction. Guard it with everything you have. The unbothered know this truth. They live by it. And because they protect their energy, they have more than enough to accomplish what the distracted never will. Think about what you allowed into your mind yesterday. Think about the conversations you engaged in. Think about the thoughts you entertained. How much of it served you? How much of it moved you forward? How much of it left you feeling stronger than before? If the answer is not most of it, you have work to do. The unbothered person audits their energy like a wise investor audits their portfolio. They cut the losses. They double down on what works. They refuse to keep pouring into things that yield nothing. Do the same. Your peace depends on it. Your success depends on it. Your future depends on it. Guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Rule 4. Accept that you cannot control others. The fourth rule is the one most ignored because it requires a kind of honesty that most will never embrace. You must accept that you cannot control others. Sit with that for a moment. You cannot control what others think. You cannot control what they say. You cannot control what they do. You cannot control how they feel about you. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you give, no matter how reasonable you are, others will act according to their own will, their own wounds, their own understanding. And there is not a single thing you can do to change that. Most people waste years trying to manage other people's behavior. They twist themselves into shapes they do not recognize, hoping that if they are good enough, kind enough, successful enough, the world will finally treat them the way they deserve. But the world does not work that way. People disappoint. People betray. People misunderstand. It is not because of something you did or failed to do. It is simply the nature of being human. Imperfection is woven into the fabric of every soul. Expecting otherwise is setting yourself up for endless disappointment. The unbothered person does not fight this reality. They accept it. They let go of the fantasy that if they just do everything right, everyone will love them, respect them, and treat them fairly. They release the need to be understood by all. They stop chasing approval that will never come. This is not defeat. This is liberation. When you stop trying to control what you cannot control, you reclaim all the energy you once spent on a hopeless cause. You take back the hours you wasted on a battle you were never meant to fight. You focus on what is within your power, your thoughts, your actions, your choices, your growth. Let others be who they are. Let them have their opinions. Let them make their mistakes. Let them walk their own path, even if it takes them far from you. Your peace does not depend on their behavior. Your worth does not depend on their recognition. Your future does not depend on their approval. These truths are not easy to accept, but accepting them is the doorway to freedom. Build your life on the only foundation that can never be taken: your own discipline, your own vision, your own unshakable commitment to becoming the person you were born to be. When you stop trying to force people into boxes, you free yourself from the frustration that comes when they refuse to fit. When you stop demanding that life be fair, you open yourself to the peace that comes from accepting life as it is. This is the mark of the unbothered. They do not rage against what they cannot change. They simply focus on what they can, and in doing so, they become unstoppable. Think about the hours you have lost trying to change someone's mind. Think about the arguments you have had that ended exactly where they started. Think about the relationships you have strained by trying to force someone to see things your way. All of that energy could have been spent building something that actually moves you forward. All of that time could have been invested in yourself. The unbothered person understands this. They let people be wrong. They let people disagree. They let people walk away without chasing after them with explanations and pleas. They know that their job is not to convert the world. Their job is to become unconvertible themselves. When you reach this level of acceptance, something remarkable happens. You stop being frustrated by people. You stop being disappointed by outcomes you never controlled. You stop being surprised by betrayal because you never expected perfection in the first place. This is not cynicism. This is clarity. It is the understanding that every person you meet is a flawed being doing their best with what they have. Some will rise to meet you. Others will fall short. Neither outcome is your responsibility to manage. The only responsibility you have is to yourself, to your growth, to your peace, to your path. This is where your power lies. Not in controlling others, but in mastering yourself. Not in changing the world, but in becoming unchanged by it. Not in forcing outcomes, but in accepting whatever comes with calm and confidence. This is the unbothered way. Let go of control, and you will find freedom you never knew existed. Think about what happens when you release your grip, when you stop trying to steer other people's choices, when you stop hoping that if you just explain it one more time, they will finally understand. What happens is peace. What happens is space. What happens is the energy you were wasting now flows back into your own life. This is the gift of acceptance. It is not giving up. It is growing up. It is realizing that the only life you can live is your own. It is understanding that the only person you can change is yourself. It is accepting that others will do what they will do, and your job is simply to respond with wisdom, not to prevent or control. Master this, and you will become unbothered. Master this, and the chaos of others will no longer touch you. Master this, and you will walk through life with a calm that nothing can disturb. Consider for a moment how much suffering comes from the gap between expectation and reality. You expect people to be fair, and they are not. You expect them to be grateful, and they are not. You expect them to understand, and they do not. Every one of these expectations is a setup for disappointment. The unbothered person has closed this gap. They expect nothing from others except that others will be themselves, and when others are themselves, there is nothing to be upset about. There is only reality. Accept it and move through with grace. This does not mean you stop hoping for the best in people. It means you stop demanding it. There is a difference between hope and expectation. Hope is light. Expectation is heavy. Hope allows for surprise and delight. Expectation sets up conditions that must be met for your peace to remain intact. The unbothered person hopes generously but expects nothing. And in that space between hope and acceptance, they find a peace that nothing can take away. Rule 5. Stop seeking revenge. The fifth rule cuts to the heart of what keeps most people trapped in misery. You must stop seeking revenge. When someone wrongs you, the urge for payback is instinctive. Your blood boils. Your mind races with plans to even the score. You imagine their downfall. You replay the hurt, stoking the fire hotter and hotter. And for what? What does any of that accomplish except to burn you from the inside out? The desire for revenge is a poison that you drink while hoping the other person will die. It does not work. It never works. While you are plotting, they are living. While you are stewing, they are moving on. While you are burning inside, they may not even remember what they did. You are destroying yourself while they remain untouched. This is the cruel irony of resentment. It punishes the wrong person every single time. The fire you think you are aiming at them is consuming you. The unbothered person refuses to carry this burden. They know that holding on to anger is like gripping a hot coal. The only one burned is themselves. They let go, not because the offense was acceptable, but because their own peace is worth more than any satisfaction revenge could bring. This is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. It takes a soft person to react with rage. It takes an unbreakable person to walk away in silence. It takes true power to refuse to let the actions of another dictate your emotional state for months or years to come. When you seek revenge, you hand your future to the person who wronged you. You allow them to live rent-free in your mind. You give them a power over you that they never earned. And you sacrifice your own growth for the hollow pleasure of imagining their pain. Let it go. Let them go. Not for them, but for you. Your freedom depends on it. Your future depends on it. Your very soul depends on it. The best revenge is a life lived well. The best revenge is to rise so far above the pain that it becomes nothing more than a faint memory. The best revenge is to become so unbothered, so powerful, so focused on your own path that the offense fades into irrelevance. Every moment you spend plotting payback is a moment stolen from your own progress. Every hour you dwell on betrayal is an hour you could have spent building your empire. Every ounce of energy you pour into resentment is an ounce that could have fueled your transformation. Choose yourself. Choose your future. Choose freedom. Release the need for revenge, and you release yourself from a prison you did not even know you were in. This is the path of the unbothered. They do not waste their life on those who have already wasted theirs. Consider the people who have wronged you. Think about how much space they have occupied in your mind. Think about the conversations you have rehearsed, the confrontations you have imagined, the punishments you have wished upon them. Now ask yourself this. What has any of that thinking accomplished? Has it brought you peace? Has it moved you forward? Has it made your life any better? The answer is always no. The mind that dwells on revenge is a mind that is not free. It is a mind chained to the past. It is a mind controlled by people who may have long forgotten your existence. This is not acceptable. You are meant for more than this. You are meant to build, to create, to rise. You cannot do any of that while your thoughts are consumed by anger and resentment. The unbothered person makes a choice. They choose to redirect. They take the energy they would have spent on revenge and pour it into their own growth. They take the anger and transform it into fuel. They take the pain and use it as motivation to become so successful, so peaceful, so powerful that no one could ever touch them again. This is not ignoring the wrong. This is transcending it. This is recognizing that the greatest victory is not in destroying your enemy, but in becoming so elevated that they can no longer reach you. This is the revenge of the wise. Not a petty payback, but a complete transformation. Not a moment of satisfaction, but a lifetime of peace. This is available to you right now. All you have to do is let go. All you have to do is stop carrying weight that was never yours to bear. All you have to do is choose your future over your past. Make this choice today. Let the resentment fall away. Let the anger dissolve. Let the need for revenge die so that your true self can finally live. Think about what you could build with all that energy. Think about what you could become if you stopped looking backward and started looking forward. Think about the life that is waiting for you on the other side of bitterness. That life is possible. That life is available. That life is yours if you are willing to release what holds you back. The unbothered have released it all. They carry nothing that does not serve them. They hold nothing that does not lift them. They focus on nothing that does not move them forward. Do the same. Let go. Rise and never look back. There is a strength in forgiveness that revenge can never match. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was acceptable. Forgiveness is saying what happened will no longer control you. It is taking back the power you gave away when you allowed the offense to become an obsession. It is freeing yourself from chains you did not even know you were wearing. The person who hurt you may never apologize. They may never acknowledge what they did. But your freedom does not depend on their awakening. Your freedom depends only on your choice to let go. Every great soul who has ever walked this earth learned this lesson. They learned that holding on to bitterness is self-destruction. They learned that the path to greatness runs through release, not revenge. They learned that the truly powerful do not waste themselves on the petty. Join their ranks. Release what has been holding you back. Step into the lightness that comes from dropping the weight of resentment. This is not weakness. This is the highest form of self-mastery. This is the unbothered way. Rule 6, embrace solitude as your sanctuary. The 6th rule is perhaps the most misunderstood. You must embrace solitude as your sanctuary. Most people fear being alone. They fill every silence with noise. They surround themselves with company, not because it nourishes them, but because they cannot face themselves. They run from their own thoughts, their own reflections, their own truths. But the unbothered person knows that solitude is where strength is forged. In the fire of stillness, the strongest souls are tempered. In the quiet hours, away from the opinions and expectations of the world, you discover who you truly are. You confront your fears without distraction. You make decisions from a place of clarity, not pressure. You recharge your spirit in a way that no crowd can offer. Solitude is not loneliness. Loneliness is the ache of feeling disconnected even when surrounded by people. Solitude is the deliberate choice to spend time with yourself, to cultivate your mind, to listen to the voice inside that is so often drowned out by the noise of daily life. Most breakthroughs happen in silence. Most clarity comes when the world is shut out. Most self-mastery is built in the hours no one sees. The great minds throughout history did not rise by accident. They carved out time to think, to reflect, to wrestle with their own thoughts until those thoughts became weapons. You must do the same. The crowd cannot take you where you need to go. The noise cannot reveal what you need to see. Only the silence holds those gifts. Make solitude a practice. Schedule time where you are unreachable. Walk alone. Sit in stillness. Journal. Think deeply. This is not wasted time. This is the time when the unbothered soul is tempered. This is when you discover what you truly believe, what you truly want, and who you are truly becoming. Do not fear the silence. It is in silence that you hear the truth. It is in solitude that you become unshakable because you no longer need others to fill the void inside. You have filled it yourself. You have become your own greatest source of peace, wisdom, and direction. Let the world chase noise. Let the masses run from themselves. You will walk the quiet path where few dare to go. And in that quiet, you will become stronger than those who never stop to listen. Solitude is not a punishment. It is a gift. The unbothered embrace it fully. Think about what happens when you are alone with nothing to distract you. Your mind begins to speak. It tells you what you have been avoiding. It shows you what you need to change. It reveals the dreams you have been too afraid to pursue and the truths you have been too comfortable to face. This is why most people run. They cannot handle what solitude shows them. But you are not most people. You are willing to look. You are willing to listen. You are willing to confront whatever arises in the stillness because you know that this is the only way to grow. The unbothered person uses solitude as a tool. They use it to sharpen their mind. They use it to strengthen their spirit. They use it to prepare for the battles that lie ahead. When you spend time alone, you stop being influenced by the opinions of others. You stop being swayed by the emotions of the crowd. You stop being pushed and pulled by forces outside your control. You become grounded. You become centered. You become the calm in the storm. This is the power of solitude. It is not isolation. It is preparation. It is not running away. It is running toward yourself, running toward your purpose, running toward the unbothered life that is waiting for you on the other side of distraction. Make a commitment today. Carve out time for solitude. Protect it as you would protect any treasure. Use it to reflect, to plan, to dream, and to grow. Let the world wonder where you are. Let them question your absence. You will be too busy becoming to care about their curiosity. When you emerge from your solitude, you will be stronger, you will be clearer, you will be more unbothered than ever before. This is the gift that only the quiet can give. Think about the greatest decisions you have ever made. Think about the clearest moments you have ever experienced. Think about the times when you felt most certain about your path. Chances are those moments came not in the midst of noise, but in the stillness of reflection. This is the power you must cultivate. This is the space you must create. This is the discipline you must master. Solitude is where the unbothered are forged. It is where the strong become stronger. It is where the clear become clearer. Embrace it, seek it, treasure it, and let the world continue its noise while you build your peace in silence. The unbothered know that the quiet is where the real work happens. Join them. Step into the stillness and watch as your life transforms from the inside out. In solitude, you meet yourself without masks. You see your strengths and your weaknesses clearly. You confront the parts of yourself you have been avoiding and begin the work of transformation. This is uncomfortable at first. Most people cannot stand 10 minutes alone with their thoughts. But if you push through that discomfort, if you sit with yourself long enough, something remarkable happens. The noise settles, the clarity emerges, the answers you have been seeking outside yourself reveal themselves within. Make solitude a non-negotiable part of your life. Not occasionally, not when convenient, regularly, consistently. Protect your time alone as fiercely as you would protect your most valuable possession. Because it is valuable. It is the time when you sharpen your mind. It is the time when you restore your spirit. It is the time when you reconnect with your purpose. Without it, you become just another person swept along by the current. With it, you become the one who chooses where the current goes. Rule 7, commit to your own growth as the highest priority. The 7th and final rule is the foundation upon which all others rest. You must commit to your own growth as the highest priority. Most people live reactive lives. They drift from one day to the next, shaped by circumstances instead of shaping them. They complain about what is wrong, but do nothing to become what is right. They point fingers at the world while their own house crumbles. They expect change without changing themselves. This is the way of the weak. This is the path of the perpetually disturbed. The unbothered person knows that the only lasting power is the power of personal development. When you grow, you become less easily shaken. When you learn, you become less easily fooled. When you discipline yourself, you become less easily manipulated. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every habit you build is a brick in the fortress of your peace. The world cannot take what you have earned through effort. It can take your possessions. It can take your position. But it cannot take the wisdom you have cultivated, the discipline you have forged, the character you have built. These are yours forever. Commit to becoming better every single day, not for applause, not for approval, not for anyone but yourself. Read, not to impress others, but to expand your mind. Exercise, not for vanity, but for strength and clarity. Practice your craft, not for recognition, but for mastery. Every day you do not grow, you stagnate. And stagnation is the death of the unbothered state. Standing still is falling behind. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. When you stop growing, the world catches up. When you stop learning, you become easy to disturb. When you stop pushing, you become easy to push around. The unbothered person is always in motion, always improving, always adding to their arsenal. They know that true security comes from within. They know that the more they develop, the less the world can touch them. This is your call to action. Stop waiting for the world to change. Change yourself. Stop waiting for conditions to be perfect. Perfect yourself. Stop waiting for others to behave. Behave with discipline, vision, and relentless intent. Your growth is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It is the foundation of the unbothered life, and it is entirely within your control. Consider the person you were a year ago. If you are the same, something has gone wrong. If you have not grown, you have allowed time to pass without using it. The unbothered person does not waste time, they invest it. Every hour is an opportunity to learn something new. Every day is a chance to become stronger. Every experience, good or bad, is a lesson waiting to be absorbed. This mindset transforms everything. Setbacks become teachers. Failures become stepping stones. Criticism becomes fuel. Nothing is wasted when you are committed to growth. Everything serves your development. Everything moves you forward. This is the ultimate power. It is the power to turn any circumstance into an advantage. It is the power to rise regardless of what happens around you. It is the power that makes you truly unbothered. When you are growing, you do not have time to worry about what others think. You are too busy improving. When you are building, you do not have time to dwell on past hurts. You are too focused on the future. When you are disciplined, you do not have room for pettiness. Your energy is reserved for what matters. This is the life of the unbothered. It is a life of purpose. It is a life of progress. It is a life that cannot be shaken because it is built on the unshakable foundation of continuous growth. Make this commitment now. Decide that from this moment forward, you will grow every single day. Decide that you will read, you will learn, you will practice, you will push yourself beyond comfort. You will become more than you were yesterday. And in doing so, you will become unbothered. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. Think about what is possible if you commit fully to your own development. Think about who you could become in a year of disciplined growth. Think about the person waiting on the other side of consistent effort. That person is unbothered. That person is powerful. That person is free. That person is you. If you are willing to do the work, start now. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for permission. Begin today. Begin with one book. Begin with one habit. Begin with one decision to be better than you were yesterday. Stack these decisions day after day, and you will build something unstoppable. You will build the unbothered life, and nothing in this world will be able to take it from you. Your growth is your armor. The more you develop yourself, the harder you become to wound. The more wisdom you gain, the less foolish behavior can affect you. The more strength you build, the less weakness in others can pull you down. This is why commitment to growth is the seventh rule. It protects all the others. It makes all the others possible. Without it, you remain vulnerable. With it, you become invincible. Do not be discouraged by how far you have to go. Be encouraged by every step you take. Every book you read changes you. Every lesson you learn adds to you. Every discipline you practice hardens you. The compound effect of daily improvement is staggering. 1 year of consistent growth will make you unrecognizable to those who knew the old you. 5 years will make you unstoppable. 10 years will make you legendary. But it all starts with today. It all starts with this moment. It all starts with your decision to become. The unbothered life awaits. These are the 7 rules. Stop explaining yourself. Stop taking things personally. Guard your energy ruthlessly. Accept that you cannot control others. Stop seeking revenge. Embrace solitude as your sanctuary. Commit to your own growth as the highest priority. Each one is simple to understand, but difficult to master. Each one requires daily practice. Each one will be tested by the world the moment you try to apply it. But if you stay the course, if you commit with everything you have, you will become something rare. You will become a person who cannot be easily shaken, a person who cannot be easily manipulated, a person who moves through life with a calm, unshakable power that others can sense but cannot name. The unbothered do not advertise, they do not explain. They simply exist in a state of quiet strength that makes the noise of the world fade to nothing. This is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming free. Free from the opinions that once chained you. Free from the drama that once consumed you. Free from the wounds you once carried like badges of pain.